This is the National Agricultural College story. The National Agricultural College was founded in 1896 by Dr. Krauskopf. Since that time, it has become a senior college accredited to grant a Bachelor of Science degree in any one of the 7 major fields of agriculture. The college's graduates have gained a great deal of success in the field. At the present time, the college has a student body of 240 male students, the objective being to increase to 300 students in the near future. There are the facilities present at the present time to take care of 300 male students. There is a permanent faculty of 25 faculty members. That means that there are approximately 10 students to each faculty member. You can see that individual attention is given to the students when they need it.
I decided that I wanted to continue my education, but I wanted to go to a smaller school. And I went to my county cooperative extension agent, Rex Carter, and he told me about this little school in Bucks County called National Agricultural College. So I wrote a letter out here, and I got a packet of materials from Oscar Larson. He was the registrar. And one of the things I was required to do was to have an interview before they would accept me. Well, I didn't know how I was going to get out of here. I didn't have a car. I didn't have any money to buy gasoline. And my dad was working and he couldn't bring me out. And that's a long way out here. So I hitchhiked out here. In those days, that's how we got around. We hitchhiked. And I got a ride from Uniontown to Donegal, interchange on the turnpike. I stood there for about a half an hour and held my thumb out. The car's coming on. Car stopped. He says, "Where are you going?" I says, "I'm going to eastern Pennsylvania." He says, "I'm going to Harrisburg East." He says, "Get in." So I got in and we drove across western part of Pennsylvania to Harrisburg East Exchange. I got out of the car and I thanked him profusely and stood there at the edge of the toll booth, held my thumb out, and about another 20 minutes, car stopped, and he says, "Where are you going?" I says, "I'm going east." He says, "I'm going to Norristown." He says, "Hop in." So I got in, and I got as far as Norristown at night, and it was getting late, and I'm pretty tired now. So I found the YMCA in Norristown, and that's where I stayed overnight. Got up the next morning, and I hitchhiked the final 20 miles from Norristown to the National Agricultural College. We're coming up 202, and I saw that big sign there, National. And I said to the guy, "That's where I want to go." So I got out of the car and walked across campus, and the first person I met was Oscar Larson. And he took me in his office, and he interviewed me and took some notes. And then he took me around to show me all the buildings and the farms, and I kept saying to myself, this is what I'm looking for, a small school where I get this hands-on experience. And then we had lunch over in Lasker Hall. When you walk in, that was where the faculty ate, and where our offices are, my office and all those offices down to the president's office, that was our dining room. And when you turn to the right in that hallway, that was where the kitchen was. So we had lunch, and then I was getting ready to leave, and Oscar says, "We're going to accept you, Jim. You're going to be all right." He sent me in as an undergraduate in animal science. Everybody knew me by my number. When I would go in for a course, they didn't know who Jim Diamond was, but I knew his number, they knew right away. I didn't like that. It took away something about the personality of the institution I was in. But when I came to Delaware Valley, I was Jim Diamond. And everybody called me Jim. Professors, the president, everybody called me Jim. And Lasker Hall over here, upstairs is where the finance office was. And then downstairs was the cafeteria and where we all ate. And we had to wear jackets to dinner. Yeah, that's something we had to do. So Monday morning I called, and here was Dr. Lamer from DelVal, president. And he says, Jim, he says, we need a dean down here. And he says, and by December, he says, would you be interested? He says, think it over for a couple of weeks and come down and see me. So I did. A couple of weeks later, we came down, and I called him up, and we went out for lunch in here at the Chambers, the restaurant. There was Dr. Lamer, myself, Neil Vincent, and a couple others. I can't remember who they were. And when lunch was over, I was the new dean. That's how I was hired here. So I spent the next 10 wonderful years at my alma mater. And folks, Delaware Valley University prepared me for that career I just told you. I am so indebted to this university for what they did. I never dreamed I would have such a career.
Now here we see one of the students and his instructor using some of our farm machinery. We maintain pieces of farm machinery from all the large farm machinery companies. The reason for that being to give the student experience in using every type of brand on the market, so that when he goes out into the field, he'll be able to use any type of farm machinery that is available to him.